I am about a little over 100 pages into, I still actually have no idea how to say this title, but it is the Agatha Christie mystery Christmas book. I know that she has like a handful of books that are like Hercule whatever's whatever. Oh, I don't know if that made any sense, but I'm pretty sure that he's like a reoccurring person or something, but I don't really know. I don't really understand, but that's okay. I am really enjoying this so far. It's really fun. The premise of this story is there is a family who many of the family members are estranged. So there's this older man who is getting up there in age and looking like he is not gonna live for that many more Christmases. And so he invites all of his kids and their spouses to Christmas so that they can spend Christmas together as a family. So he lives already currently with one of his sons and his wife, the son's wife, and then he has invited two of his other sons, or maybe even three of his other sons and their wives, and then his granddaughter, who is the child of his daughter, who his daughter passed away. So there's a lot of complicated, like, I feel like I need a family tree, but it's a little complicated, but it is a complex family dynamic. There's a lot of tension between different family members. They definitely do not all get along, but they have all kind of been forced together because their dad wanted to have a family Christmas. So all of these siblings are in the house. They're all staying with the dad for Christmas, and there's all kinds of like drama and tension going on, and they go their separate ways for the evening. They are all kind of in different places in the house, and the dad, the old man, is murdered. It's very much giving like Clue, where it's like a whodunit, like we were all in the house. I have no theories so far about who was the one that actually committed the murder, but I'm having a really fun time following these characters along and kind of trying to figure it out with them. I've just gotten to a point where there's like detectives involved and they're starting to ask questions. None of these are spoilers, by the way. It says on the back of the book that like someone gets murdered. I am having a lot of fun reading this. It's definitely like, you can tell that it's old. The language that they use is not like necessarily the same as the type of language that we would use now, but I'm really enjoying this one so far, and I will continue to keep you guys updated. I'll probably just do one more update when I finish it and let you know my final thoughts before we get on to the next book. Okay, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I've been listening to the audiobook, not actually reading it, and I just picked it up to actually read and have been like immersive reading, like I have it in my ears and I'm reading it, and I just realized that one of the characters that's like one of the detectives, his name is Poirot. That's the title. It's Poirot is the last name, and it's like French or something. I still don't know what his first name is. Hercule is my guess, but mystery solved on that one. Finished this book by Agatha Christie, and I did figure out that the way you say his name is Hercule Poirot, and it's French, and I'm sure I'm still saying it like an American, but that's okay. To give kind of my final thoughts, first of all, this book was so much fun to read. I felt like the whole time I was just absolutely vibing. I would say this is the pinnacle of cozy mystery. It's not low stakes because obviously it is like a whodunit, it's a murder mystery, but it's so cozy in like the vibes, and it feels low stakes because it's not like thrilling. Like there's not like a whole bunch going on, it's just like a whodunit mystery. But it was super cute, very fun. The family dynamics were really fun to follow, and because it's like a Christmas book and like holiday book, it just feels so right that there's a bunch of chaotic family drama, and I really love that about this. The characters you don't really spend a lot of time with, so honestly there's still like a handful of characters that I'm like, I don't really know much about them. I don't really necessarily care about them, but that like wasn't the point. Overall, I think it's like a 3.5. It wasn't like absolutely groundbreaking. It does read pretty similarly to the other Agatha Christie book that I've read. And honestly, I don't remember what it was, which one it was, but I've read one other book by her and it feels like super similar. But honestly, if you find a formula, if you do something well, keep on doing it. And this book was written almost 100 years ago. So the fact that it has stood the test of time and it still is good and enjoyable now is so impressive for her, honestly. I'm not sure what I'm gonna pick up next. I feel like it'll probably be the Holiday Swap because that one is like the rom-com one and I'm feeling like I'm in the mood for like a short, fun little rom-com. So I may pick that up tonight, but I will keep you guys posted. Next up, I did decide to pick up The Holiday Cottage by Sarah Morgan. I'm not very far into this, and honestly, the reason why I decided on this one instead of The Holiday Swap, which I was gonna pick up, is that this one is actually available on Hoopla as an audiobook, and I am currently decorating for Christmas today, so I really wanted to listen to a holiday-themed audiobook while I decorate. So I decided that I was gonna pick up The Holiday Cottage. I found the audiobook of it and I'm liking it so far. I'm not super far into it. I basically only know that we are following two main characters. We have Imogen and I believe it's Danielle is the other one. No, Dorothy. Oh, and Sarah, Dorothy's daughter, is also has a point of view in here. I don't really know a ton about how these characters are connected just yet. I know that Imogen is our like boss lady. She hustles and grinds and gets the work done, kind of uses work as like an excuse for not having a personal life. We don't really know what her family situation is at this point, but we assume that it's not great. And Dorothy is very similar. She uses work as kind of an escape for her grief. She lost her husband and we don't fully know like the whole story behind that, but we do know that after he passed, she kind of just really went head on into work. And Dorothy is one of Imogen's clients. And so the two really get along very well. Imogen says that Dorothy is her favorite client. She loves talking to her. She's very easy to work with. And Dorothy has a daughter who is grown and has children, and her name is Sarah. And Sarah and her husband work with Dorothy. So there's kind of a lot going on in terms of different varieties of relationships in here. It does seem like it's going to be another like family drama kind of thing, but maybe more of a found family. We do know that Imogen and Dorothy, at least at this point, they don't seem to be related at all. And Sarah kind of has a little bit of hesitance towards Imogen. She's not like fully bought in on how much Dorothy is like having Imogen do for their company. There's definitely some drama. There's definitely some things that were like, ooh, what happened? How did we get this resentment? How did we get to this point? So it's definitely interesting so far. Oh, and then we know that there's a cottage. I don't really know much about the cottage other than they just had it renovated and it's apparently stunning. So those are kind of the bits of information that we have right now about our main characters. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm like intrigued to see where this plot is gonna go. I didn't even read the back. Well, I think I skimmed the back and was like, yeah, sure, maybe. But really, I picked this up based on vibes. I have no idea what I'm really getting into, but I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. And I will keep you guys updated on how we are feeling. Like I said, I'm decorating while I'm doing this, so I am listening to the audiobook for now, but I could see myself sitting down to read this in like the evening maybe. So we'll see, but I will keep you updated. Okay, I really wish I had been filming so that you guys could have seen the jaw-dropping moment that just happened in this book. Okay, I was not expecting this. I have nothing to say really except that what? Okay, I'm making lunch and I have to update you guys because I'm on page 263. Well, I'm a little further than that, but I'm on chapter 19. There's less than 100 pages left of this book. Tell me how I have read this so fast. Like, I have not even had time to get like any B-roll or anything. Like, I haven't been capturing while I've been reading because I've just been so engrossed. And to be fair, I have been listening to the audiobook for the most part, like while doing my Christmas decorations and cooking and cleaning and all that stuff. But like 200, almost 200, probably close to 275 pages now of like just binge reading this book. I don't know why I've never heard of this before, but I'm loving it. So far, I would recommend this book. Where I'm at right now, I'm not actually going to tell you very much because it's so, like, the drama is just so good if you don't know what to expect. So where I'm at right now, our main character is finally just like hitting this curve, this turning point, and everything is starting to like go better. And I thought this was gonna be much more of like a romance book, and it's not, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm not gonna say much else. I'll give my final thoughts and review at the end, but I just had to do a check-in because how did I get this much done already? I don't know how I'm this far in, but here we are. I don't know what it is, but I am in the Christmas spirit today. I made a peppermint mocha and I'm so excited about it. I haven't tried it yet. We're gonna have the first sip together. Cute mug. Oh my gosh, it's steaming. Love that for us. Okay, let's give it a try. Yeah, it tastes like Christmas. Let's get on to what I'm really here to talk about, which is The Holiday Cottage. This book took me completely by surprise. I had no idea what to expect going into this book. I really, really enjoyed this reading experience. I listened to most of this. I only probably sat down and read like a couple of chapters, but I listened to it while I was decorating for Christmas, and I just feel like that was the perfect way to consume this book. It took place around the holidays, and it definitely, like, Christmas and the holiday season was like a big part of it, but it wasn't like the whole plot of the book. The plot very much felt like literary fiction that just took place around the holidays. I will say, if you're not a fan of like the cheesy Hallmark like type of story, you probably will not love this. There was like a little bit of romance, but it was mostly a subplot. It is very heartwarming, it is very sweet, it is very Christmassy. I would say anyone really could pick this up and read it. As far as like adult themes and things like that, there's nothing super crazy. If you are someone who loves like sweet, wholesome, heartwarming fiction, and you don't like spice in your books, you like a little bit of romance, but you don't like it to be really heavy on the romance, I would say this book is definitely for you, and I would recommend picking it up this holiday season. I think I landed on like a 4.25. I had like no expectations. Like, my hopes were on the floor for how much I was gonna enjoy this, and I genuinely ate it up. Like, I was having outward reactions, I was gasping, the drama was so good. I was so connected to our main character, Imogen. I just felt like she was very likable because she was very real. Like, she made very real mistakes. Honestly, there were a couple of things in this that like kind of drove me insane that she chose to do. I was like, oh girl, that was not a good decision. She basically tells her colleagues that she like has a family, and she spins up this like very tall tale about just a kind, loving, like close-knit family, and in reality the only family that she knows is her mom, and her mom is estranged. She's an addict and she only calls when she like needs something. So she, to try to fit in and kind of try to make herself like feel a little bit better, she spins up these lies. And I was really concerned for how this was gonna all play out, because I am someone that does not like miscommunication. I do not enjoy when characters just lie and then you have to like watch all of their lies like fall out. And I really appreciated how the author chose to do this. If I'm being honest, it was a very convenient wrap up and something that was definitely not realistic. The other characters like did not react in a way that you would expect a normal person to react to in a situation like this. But at the same time, it made me have like a little more hope for humanity. It's one of those that you're like, oh, that was just so sweet and cozy and warm. It felt like a hug around Christmas. So that is a win. I've had 2 wins out of these holiday or these Christmas reads so far. I have one more that I think I'm gonna pick up for this video. I am not gonna read, I don't remember if I said I was going to or not, but I'm not gonna read Winter Garden. I feel like I could read it in January and it would be completely fine. So I'm not like prioritizing that one. There's some other books that I wanna get to before the end of the year. And I do have a readathon coming up this weekend. So I just wanna pick up one more book for this video. Let me grab it before I start talking about it. The last book I'm going to pick up for this video is The Holiday Swap, and this is a romance. There's like twins involved. It takes place in a small town. One of the like little blurbs on the back says it's like Gilmore Girls meets The Parent Trap meets Cake Wars. And I kind of love that. I feel like it's gonna be one of those Christmas books that's like, oh, it's just like everything else. It's Hallmarky, it's cute, it's fun, but like it's nothing new. That's kind of what I'm expecting going into it, but I'm hoping at the very least it's cute and fast paced and a fun time. So I'm going to stop yapping and I'm gonna get into this book so we can get it finished. Let's get into it. Let us discuss. I started this book like you guys saw a little bit ago, or like honestly it's been a few days at this point, but I hadn't really picked it up since last we like chatted about me starting it. I read like maybe 30 pages of it and then I just got super busy and I wasn't reading physical books for a few days. I was just kind of reading on my Kindle when I had a few minutes. But I just picked this up again this morning and I kind of binged it. I got like about almost halfway through. We are following our 2 main characters, Charlie and Cass, and we have a point of view for each of them. They are twin sisters. One lives in the small town that they grew up in. She runs their family's bakery that their family has had for like generations. And then the other moved out and she lives in LA and she is a co-star on a baking show. So both of the sisters are bakers, so it's already just very cozy and very Christmassy. The sister that stars in the baking show, she gets into an accident very early on in this, and she actually gets a concussion and loses all sense of taste and smell. And so she is freaking out because they're in the middle of filming this super important like holiday special type of series, and she can't taste or smell anything. She's like burning her food and like doesn't know if it tastes good and whatever. So she freaks out. She calls her sister and she's like, "Hey, I really need your help." Meanwhile, her sister is having all kinds of drama with her boyfriend and is like wanting to get away from that whole situation. And so she's like, "Yes, I'm down. Let me help you." And what they end up doing is they, in Parent Trap style, switch places, and Cass acts as Charlie and Charlie acts as Cass. So because they are identical twin sisters, it's assumed that they look similar enough that nobody's really going to notice that they swap places. As someone who's married to a twin, there's no way that nobody is picking up on the fact that they've switched, especially like Cass, her like boyfriend that she's been with for like since she was in high school. Like there's no way that he doesn't know so quickly that it's not Cass, like that it is her twin sister. I'm just finding it really hard to believe that they were able to successfully switch places, but it's a like silly little rom-com, so we're forgiving them for that one. It's not really bothering me that much. I'm just like, this is definitely not realistic. This is very much just for the plot. But anyways, it is very hallmarky, very cozy, like small town. It's definitely a rom-com, of course, as you would assume in a book like this. Each one of them meets a man that is like somewhat present in the other's life and starts to like kind of fall for him. And so there's like a little bit of that going on, which is really fun to follow. So where I'm at right now, they're still in their different places, and there's just some interesting drama happening on each side. Of course, there are complications with trying to live somebody else's life, and so they're kind of trying to deal with that. And then also now having kind of fallen for a guy, each of them, in the other one's life, there's like a little bit of that like tension of do I even want to like switch back? That's the path not taken, essentially, is what they got to experience. So I don't know, it's really fun. I'm breezing through it. It's a really easy read. It's very fast paced and it's cute. It just feels like I'm reading a Hallmark movie, like very much. And I'm like a Hallmark around Christmas kind of person. Like I enjoy the fun, predictable, cute, like whatever Hallmark movies, just to like throw them on around Christmas time. They just feel like so homey and cozy for me. So I'm enjoying this, but it is definitely not a literary masterpiece by any means. It's just really cute. I have my peppermint tea in my cute little Christmas cup, and I'm gonna be just reading for the next couple hours. We have some plans maybe with family later today, but I am so far free for at least another like 2 hours or so. So I'm just gonna sit and read. I'm gonna see how much more of this I can get done today, and hopefully I'll get it finished either, if not this like morning, afternoon, then I will get it done hopefully tonight or tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm gonna go read. This will definitely be my last check-in before I finish this book. I have about 100 pages left, and I have to say, they're kind of driving me insane right now. I feel like the main character's like whole twin thing, and they're like, we know the premise, they swap places, right? They are being so annoying about it, and they are not being honest. And obviously, like, it's how it goes. Like, of course they're lying, they switch places, so like the miscommunication trope is like a given, but I'm getting really annoyed with it, like really annoyed at this point. I'm like, guys, come on, can we there's no reason why we're still lying about this. There's no reason why we're still playing this game. Like, how about we just tell the truth and then everybody can move on? Hopefully it all works itself out soon, but I will find out and I will let you know. Okay, let's talk about The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I just finished this book yesterday, and it was actually pretty cute. I gave it 3 stars, which is a pretty good rating, I will say. Some people like 3 stars is not a good rating for them. For me personally, 3 stars is a good rating. There were a few things I liked about it and a few things that I didn't like so much. I'll start with the negatives and then we'll end on a positive note. So as far as like the things that bothered me, the twins like being in different places, like having swapped lives and like literally no one picking up on it was a little bit annoying to me. It's the twin that lived in LA and like whose friends and stuff like didn't know her twin sister made a little more sense, especially since she had like just gotten a concussion. So that one I was like, okay, I understand, like like they have no reason to believe that you would have ever possibly swapped places with your twin sister, especially considering a lot of them didn't even know that she had a twin sister. So that one I was like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense that like people wouldn't have guessed, especially because she could just chalk up her acting weird to the fact that she had a concussion. So that one didn't bother me quite as much. But the twin sister that's at home, I'm like, listen, you both grew up in this town. All these people know you. They know both of you. They know your personality differences. There's no way that like they didn't pick up on the fact that you switched places. Like I refuse to believe that everyone was just like, yeah. They even make a comment about them having done this as kids, like when they were kids, like switching places to try to like fool everybody because they were identical twins. I feel like there were a lot of people that should have known that it wasn't the right person. Like the girl that was in the small town, like she had just broken up with her boyfriend of like 15 years. And you're telling me that this man has been with her for like 15 years and he doesn't pick up on the fact that the woman that he's speaking to and seeing is not the person he's been with for 15 years. Like, how does he not know that it's not her? That one, I was like, come on. Like, there's no way he doesn't pick up on that. And then also the fact that the two of them like kept this lie up for so long. I was like, okay, guys, like there were so many opportunities where you could have said something and told the truth, and it would have made your situation so much easier. And it also would not have affected literally anything from like your original plan. So why do you not, like, why are you continuing to lie? Like, you could have made your life so much easier just by like telling the truth in that situation. So there are a couple moments like that where I was like, guys, come on, like, are we still doing this? I feel like it got a little bit repetitive in that sense too, to where I was like, okay, like we could wrap this up anytime. Like, I feel like if it was maybe like 30 to 50 pages shorter, it would have been like better for it, just because of some of the stuff in the middle that just got repetitive. All in all, going to the positives, it was an entertaining read. It was pretty fast paced. There was like a little bit of a slowdown in the middle, like I said, where it got like repetitive. But other than that, like it was pretty fast paced. And I would say like if you love a good just like Christmas Hallmark movie, that was exactly what this gave. I felt like I just was sitting in front of, you know, a Hallmark channel watching this play out on a screen from the way it was written and just the storyline in general. And just like Hallmark, if you look far enough, of course, you're going to find plot holes and you're going to find things that bother you. But if you're just there for the vibes and you're just reading to have a good time and you're not thinking too much about it, it is entertaining and it is a fun time. So those are kind of the positives. I also really appreciated that the author did a good job of creating tension without really any mention of spice or like any like explicit content in that sense. So you were able to like feel the tension even more, I feel like, because it's like every brush of the hand, every like sweet act of service is just escalated so much more because like you're only getting these little crumbs of their romance and their relationship, and it's like pretty like slow burn. So I really, really appreciated how the author was able to really make us care about the relationships without adding spice and without even like adding mention of spice. So I would say like it is just like a Hallmark movie, pretty appropriate for most audiences. There was a tiny bit of language, but even then, like it wasn't very much, and it was pretty like mild, so it wasn't bad at all in that sense. And then I will just like mention quickly, if you are somebody that avoids any books with even like a little bit of a mention of astrology, there was a little bit of that in this. I know that for some people it is something that bothers them and they like avoid in any circumstance, and so just a mention that there is like mention of astrology in here. Okay, that is all for my holiday books reading vlog. I'm not gonna get to that Kristen Hanna book in this video. I think that this video would end up being so long and take me absolutely forever to finish if I tried to also read the Kristen Hanna book. So we are gonna end it here. This has been so much fun to just read some Christmassy books with you. And let me know if you guys pick any of these up, if you have read any of these, if you liked them. This one was like such a unique stack of books, I feel like. None of them were very popular, and I feel like I just was able to get some diverse Christmassy books in, which is so nice because sometimes holiday books can just feel like they're all the same. So I am very glad that I got a little bit of diversity in here. This has been so much fun to film. So I'm gonna wrap it here, but I will see you tomorrow for another day of Bookmas. Bye.